Every man has one excuse, more convincing than all the others, so deeply embedded, it no longer feels like a story, it feels like reality. It's the foundation between every hesitation, every detour, and every betrayal of self. And it's not loud or dramatic, it's woven into your tone, your posture, your rhythm, your very presence. And it governs you without force because you've made it true by repeating it for so long. This is your final excuse, and it will meet you at the very edge of the threshold with a familiar comfort. I would, but. Here's some examples of what they sound like. Some of them you've heard in previous transmissions, but they are worthy of repetition. Here they are. But I don't want to hurt anyone. But I'm not ready, but it's not the right time, but I need more clarity, but I've invested so much. But what if I regret it? You dress it up in responsibility, you wrap it in empathy, you say it's for the sake of your family, your team, your future. But if you trace it down to the bone, it's not about any of that. It's still about what we've talked about previously. It's about fear, but this time, it's about the fear of becoming someone you can't explain, someone others won't understand, someone who no longer needs permission to be aligned. Because if you drop this excuse, you lose your very last alibi. And once it's gone, it's just you. No more defense, no more delay, no more reasons, just the truth and the step and the threshold. That's why this excuse is so sticky, because keeping it lets you pretend that you're still deciding, that you're still considering coherence, that you're not quite there yet. But you are. You've been here for years, actually. The only thing between you and the life you say you want is this final, elegant, devastating excuse. And you know what it is, because you've built entire chapters of your life around it. You've designed your language, your relationships, your emotional range. You've done all of this to support that lie. And now you either keep it or bury it because you can't take it with you. And the problem is that you've invested so much into this lie. But the threshold doesn't care about your justifications. It doesn't respond to your logic and your rationale. It doesn't pause for context and explanation. It only opens when the excuse dies, and that death will feel like exposure. It feels like failure, like danger, because you've confused the excuse with your identity, and now letting it go feels like annihilation. And in a way, it is. It's the end of the version of you that needed a story to explain why he wasn't free. And so here's the moment. You name it out loud. You don't dress it up. You don't analyze it. You don't try to make it noble. You just name it and watch it shrink. Because the moment it's named, it loses its shadow. And then say, I'm done using this excuse to justify my own delay, and then be done. Not ritually, not ceremonially, not theoretically, actually. Because when this excuse dies, you become dangerous, not reckless dangerous, but responsible. Because you're no longer protecting others from the impact of your truth. You're no longer protecting yourself from the cost of alignment. You're no longer living at a distance from what you already know. And in that moment, movement begins. No fanfare, no celebration, just clear, clean direction, just the sound of a man no longer lying to himself. Because your excuse was never protecting you. It was just pacing your death so slowly that you wouldn't feel it. But now that you've named it, now that you've buried it, now you can walk forward much lighter. Welcome to The Architect Speaks.